Awesome. How's everyone doing today?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Excited. The movie was super fun. Felt like me a nice horror comedy set in the 80s, so it was super fun. How you guys feeling about the release later this week?
Very excited. This is like
Yeah.
my first movie release in this type of way, so I don't really know what I'm getting into, but very excited for what's to come.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you tell me a little bit more about you guys' respective characters and what they go through in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I play Glee Tanaka. She is a very conservative, young Asian American girl growing up in um, a Catholic school. And she is incredibly loyal to her friend. And she maybe takes a lot of cues from them. She's still figuring herself out, but I think in this movie, she finds some courage and also learns about herself and starts exploring maybe you know ideas that wouldn't normally fit into
Mhm.
her zeitgeist. Sorry, I feel like I don't know how to explain. I still, after 2 hours of doing this, I still don't know how to say it without spoiling it. So I just
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's funny because I was gonna ask you guys both, because the movie, it does focus a lot on the power of friendship, and the core group, you guys, have a strong friendship that's really put to the test. Obviously, no spoilers, but there's also a journey that everyone goes through of self-reflection and finding out what they truly want deep down inside. So a question for you both: which of those paths, what were some things you were able to gravitate to and connect with the most?
For sure, I think that playing this character, it was sort of like trying to discover why she acts the way she does with her friends. So Margaret is kind of the leader of the group in a sense of like she kind of decides where the plans are this weekend. She's kind of bossy, she's the boss girl, and everyone kind of listens to her. She's kind of the tallest one in the group. She kind of holds a lot
Mhm.
of power. And so I think for me, with playing her, it was finding sort of where that confidence comes from, or rather say a false sense of confidence. I think that she's a very insecure person and she hides her insecurities quite well throughout the beginning of the film. And you see it sort of like alluded to, like there might be something deeper going on with her. But I think
Right.
that she sort of has a tough exterior. And so that's the sort of part she plays. And I think that that represents a lot of girls and how they channel insecurities in their way. And that demographic of girl, it was cool to play that and sort of bring that into our friendship of these four girls. It was like that's the part Margaret kind of plays. It's that false sense of confidence with that she's kind of standing on a house of cards, with all those insecurities, and that sort of feeds into how she interacts with her friends. So that for me was the part that was interesting to delve into.
Nice. How about you, Kathy?
I mean, I definitely just feel like I hadn't seen Glee's character on screen necessarily, and
Hmm.
and I think like the fact that the story really is about these four women growing up together and the power of friendship and like how vital it is that they support each other in order for them to be happy and succeed. And I feel like it very quickly falls apart, just
Hmm.
because like one aspect of the friendship goes away. And so I think watching them then rebuild as a group is really special. And hopefully it's very inspiring for everyone who gets to watch it, while also being like really funny and kind of gross and scary. I don't know.
Right. There are some fun scenes in there, especially some of the
Yeah.
the horrific stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of like the route they decided to go with the horror and the comedy aspect. It's a nice balance, to say the least. And obviously the power of friendship can't defeat that at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
Kathy, for you, I know you've appeared in Harley Quinn a couple of times. I know there's a new season coming. Any chance you will be returning for this new season?
I literally can't tell you. I have no idea. That's really what the situation. I just, you know what? That's yeah. I wish
we
I
need we
could.
need some
So
more
many people
golden
have brought
glider.
it up, and I'm like, well, I love Golden Glider. She
We
is
need some
so
more
cool.
golden glider.
And it's so fun to get to play like kind of a super villain, but
Right.
still in the vein of like, oh, I'm really nice though. And like I feel like that also fits with Glee somehow, being like one of the mean girls. I don't know. It's fun. All the characters, yeah.
All right. So final question for you both. Favorite 80s horror film? Go ahead.
Oh my God. We keep getting asked this, and it's like, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to think about it. I don't think I can choose just one. I think that, you know, the film that we're creating here with my best friend's Exorcism is sort of like a different play on horror, you know, with the comedy effect and setting it in the 80s, but it's, you know, being filmed now. I think that there's a lot of elements of like retrospect to the 80s, you know, and it's like now creators are being able to say, what can we take from the 80s and like bring now, and how can we still tell a story that's relevant today, even though it's set then. So I think that there's a lot of elements of our film that are sort of new, and it's sort of creating sort of a path of its own. So I don't think that I can pick just one 80s movie, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense. But yeah, I mean, we'll wrap it up there if Cathy has nothing to say. I know there's a lot of classic horrors in the 80s, but
I know, but the problem is I'm too scared. This is why every time they're interviewing me, I'm like so embarrassed because I'm like, I couldn't watch any of them. I know that they were made, but like I just couldn't.
That's perfectly fine. Now you're in your own horror movie.
They were too
now
good.
you can watch it. You can watch them all back to back.
Oh God.
But we'll wrap it up there. I really appreciate you guys both, you know, taking the time out of your day to talk to us here at the Nerdy Basement. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And obviously, my best friend's Exorcism is streaming on Prime Video September 30th.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.